What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. This is your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, y'all. Before we get going on our video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share the video, turn on your notifications, and follow me on Twitter at KOBoxing86TV. Also, if you have a breakdown or a prediction you'd like for us to do, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. And please also check out our live shows every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, where we discuss the hottest topics in boxing and go over the news and give y'all my thoughts on different topics. And then also live shows on Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time as well. That's our breakdown and prediction show, where we break down all the upcoming fights so you can know who gonna win, how they gonna win, and all of that stuff before the fight even happens. And then Sunday mornings, we got our live show, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time every Sunday morning. We discuss everything that happened from the fights that weekend. So let's get to this video though. So Tim Smith, the PBC, they not only look bad. Tim Smith not only made them look bad, he took a shot and he insulted boxing fans. And we got to talk about it in this video. We have to. So, first point of the video, him making the PBC look bad. For those y'all that don't know, Tim Smith basically came out like, so the Errol Spence, Terence Crawford fight, it's on fire right now, right? It's on fire right now. You go to any content creator, you ask a boxing analyst or just a regular analyst from ESPN, what's the biggest fight in the welterweight division? You go ask somebody from DAZN, what's the biggest fight in the welterweight division? You go ask somebody from Fox, Showtime, any of those boxing analysts, anybody with a boxing show on those platforms I mentioned, what's the biggest fight in the welterweight division? You come over here to YouTube. It's people that'll tell you, man, I'm tired of talking about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. They'll tell you that. But what those people will also tell you is this the biggest fight in the welterweight division, right? Whether you like Errol Spencer, whether you like Terence Crawford, everyone can agree that this is a fight that, for the vast majority of us, we all want to see. And so, Tim Smith is making the PBC look bad because he says the fight's not big enough. The fight's not big enough to pay Crawford what he's looking for. And then he also makes the PBC look bad because after saying that, after saying those things, we don't, Crawford doesn't sell. He's not a big enough star for the fight. We don't know. We don't want to insult him with an offer. He also went on to say that he don't know what Crawford is asking for. And I'm sure Tim Smith might be a great guy, but those quotes are contradictory, right? They're contradicting quotes. And you got fans looking at you like, bro, are you incompetent? Are you incompetent? You making Al Haymon him look like, bro, why did they hire you? If your job is PR, that's the worst PR you could do. Number one is say y'all don't have money for the biggest fight in boxing. And regardless of the networks, we know these networks is at war. We know Top Rank don't want to bring up PBC fighters, and ESPN is not trying to big up Fox fighters and the war between the suits and shit. We all know that, but the fight done got so big to where they have no choice but to recognize this as a huge fight, and that's the fight that you choose to say you don't have. It could be an issue to make because of the business. Because of the economics. That makes no sense, bro. That makes absolutely positively no sense whatsoever. Especially when you consider the PBC's moves. It's just a bunch of contradicting statements, and maybe they want to throw us off. And I said it, I think it's negotiating. I said that in the last video, but I think it's bad negotiating at that. I think all of this stuff, man, you don't get it done by coming out and saying you don't have money. You don't get it done by coming out and talking about how Terence Crawford doesn't sell. Y'all need to sit down and get this fight made. You need to sit down and get this fight made because you look so bad right now. You making your fighter, Errol Spence, look bad. You making yourself look bad. You look incompetent. You look extremely incompetent. So if you don't know what the man is asking for, how are you in one breath going to say you pricing yourself out, but we don't know what he's asking for? I'm not part of those talks. So what you talking about, bro? What you talking for? It makes no sense. Furthermore, you can't tell us that as fans. You can't tell us that as fans when we watch you put on a ton of pay-per-view fights that don't deserve it. How about instead of that, instead of giving us Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz, no disrespect to them, instead of putting them on pay-per-view, right? Instead of putting Chris Arreola and King Kong Ortiz on pay-per-view, instead of putting Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios on pay-per-view, one of which going on his second pay-per-view in a row, and that pay-per-view sold because of Tank Davis. The other of which going on pay-per-view, and he ain't fought in 30 months. So you give us a heavyweight fight, 2 heavyweight fights on pay-per-view that ain't nobody really checking for. You follow that up by giving us a return of Keith Thurman on pay-per-view. When Keith Thurman ain't fought in 30 months, and Mario Barrios, he got a fan base, he got all that, but he ain't no pay-per-view main eventer. But you put those on pay-per-view. You can make those happen. The business behind those makes sense. You can get that done. But you can't get Errol Spence and Terence Crawford done, so you making your whole outfit, everything about y'all look shaky right now. You really are. Whether what you're saying is true or not, whether it's a negotiation tactic or not, if your job is PR, maybe you know, a lot of people say all publicity is good publicity. So the fact that I'm even making this video, the fact that other people are talking about this, maybe that's just what they want. But it still don't look bad. I mean, it still don't look good, man. It look bad. It looks absolutely positively bad. And I don't like when promoters and entities try to insult my intelligence as a boxing fan. All those things that I just mentioned, I didn't even bring up this key factor as well. I don't know what Errol Spence is going to ask for. I don't know what Terence Crawford is asking for from a perspective. What purses they want. I do know this, though. Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant, y'all paid them out $50 million in purses. $50 million in purses you paid them. And I feel like Canelo is a bigger star than all these fighters in this quartet that I mentioned. I feel like he's a bigger star than Errol Spence right now. He's a bigger star than Terence Crawford, and obviously he's a bigger star than Caleb Plant. But you're not gonna get me to believe that a fight between Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez generates more money and is a bigger fight than a fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. At the very least, they on the same level. And if you got $50 million for them, for their purses, you mean to tell me that you ain't got $35 million for Spence and Crawford? Maybe you ain't got $30 million, $20 million, because they purses, they ain't gonna be asking for that. They're not going to be asking for that. Spencer ain't going to be asking you for an extra sponsorship to put Hennessy on there. He ain't going to be asking for no TV rights. Neither is Terence Crawford because they both Americans. So all the stuff that you had to shell out to Canelo Alvarez, you ain't got to shell out to these two people to make this fight happen. So you can miss me with that, bro. Ain't nobody falling for that. That don't make no sense. And then here's the part that really got me mad. You know, he basically, Tim Smith said, in a nutshell, we some broke-ass fans? Well, what you talking about, knockout? What you mean he said we some broke-ass fans? He said we ain't going to do shit. If they put that fight on, we ain't going to do shit but stream the fight anyway. Fans ain't going to do shit but stream the fight anyway. Listen, bro. And maybe it's because they looking at the numbers that Davis and Barrios did. I mean, Davis and, because Al Haymon is his manager. I know he ain't, Tank Davis technically ain't a PBC, but come on, PBC, Mayweather Promotions, it's all the same shit. Let's keep it a buck. But maybe they looking at Tank and Isak Pitbull Cruz numbers. Maybe Charles Martin and Luis King Kong Ortiz didn't do what they wanted it to do. Maybe they like, man, fans are streaming fights, so why put on this big fight? They just gonna stream it anyway. It's your product, homie. People streaming Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis because ain't nobody asked for that shit, right? I guarantee you, you go put Gervonta Davis in there with Gary Russell, assuming Gary Russell can beat Mark Mixayo. You do a cross-promotional fight between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney or Gervonta Davis and Vasily Lomachenko. I guarantee you that next week you will have pay-per-view numbers that you will not hide. You will have pay-per-view numbers that you will not be afraid to report because they will do damn good. It's your product, homie. Straight up and down. That's what got people streaming the fight. People don't want to pay for subpar product. And that's what you dishing out when you put shit on pay-per-view that don't belong there. It's that simple. You give people a banging ass card. You put Errol Spence and Terence Crawford at the top of that hoe. I guarantee you it will sell, bro. All boxing fans know that. Casual fans talk about this fight. This is the fight everyone wants to see. So for you to insult fans like people are streaming shit simply off the strength of they broken shit or they don't buy fights anyway. Nah, people streaming shit right now because your product is garbage. You literally asking people to pay for shit that ain't worth paying for. Off the strength of being a diehard boxing fan and just not having a freeloading bone in my body, I buy it because shit. I want to leave. I want the sport to live, bro. I want the sport to continue to grow. But you guys got to do better. I'm not gonna get mad at nobody talking about stream team or 5-stick team or none of that shit when you giving them what they don't want, and it's not a good product. Errol Spence, gosh, that's a good product. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, that's an outstanding product. That's a great product. You make a fight like that. Let's say Thurman does good against Barrios. You make a Thurman and Jerron in this fight as the co-main event. It won't even matter what else you put on the card. That shit's selling out. Both live gate numbers and pay-per-view numbers. And let's not, like, live gate, like, come on, bro. Y'all getting that. Y'all get that purse back and then some. Like, Tim Smith just looking like a fool right now out here, man. And I ain't gonna be harsh with him. Like, I don't know the man, but it doesn't sound good, and it makes everyone around you look bad when you talk like this. When you get to saying that a fighter gonna price themselves out, because that's basically what he said. Go read his quotes, go listen to the interview. Long story short, when you talk about somebody not a pay-per-view star, you don't want to insult him with an offer. You basically saying you think they're gonna offer too much. They're gonna ask for too much. But then towards the end of that, you say, well, I'm not a part of those talks. I don't know what he's asking for. You make yourself look bad. When you talk shit to the fans, because let's just keep it a buck. When you talk Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, yeah, you talking to boxing as a whole, but if you look at their fan bases, both of their fan bases are black. You talking to black boxing fans basically saying y'all ain't gonna do nothing but stream the shit. Then you go look at, like bro, you just, it was just a bad quote. It was just bad. It did nothing good. As when you are in PR, the stuff that you would come out and say is supposed to shine your client, his client being the PBC, his client being Al Haymon, his client being all the fighters under their umbrella. Your job is to come out and shine them in a positive light. That's what you're there to do. He did nothing but shine the PBC in their business practices and how they've been moving in a negative light. That's all he did was shine it in a negative light. You got an outsider in Canelo Alvarez, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. You got an outsider in Canelo Alvarez that you paid the biggest purse of the year. You got a dude in Errol Spence that's been keeping the lights on for y'all the last 3 fights, doing his thing. And the biggest fight of his career, y'all ain't trying to make that happen? These is all, like, I just don't. That's why I'm calling Tim Smith all cap, because I got more faith in Al Haymon than that, bro. I think this is cap. At the end of the day, I think he's just trying to negotiate. And somebody put a battery in his back because they trying to drive Crawford price down. But at the end of the day, I think this is on the fighters. Errol Spence been saying he want Terence Crawford. He got to go to Al and say, Al, give me that fight. Maybe he got to make some concessions. Maybe Crawford got to make some concessions. But boxing fans that are neutral, boxing fans that are diehard Terence Crawford fans, and boxing fans that are Errol Spence fans, we all can agree we want this damn fight. So y'all don't stop us from getting what we want. Boxing got to be the only product. The only product where they like, yo, we ain't going to give you what you want. We give you what we want you to have. You take it and or you leave it. This is what we doing. Whereas every other sport, man, they change rules. They make sure that it's competitive. They try to do everything they can to give you a great product. Not boxing, though. They like, you going to take what we give you. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Comment down below. Smash the like. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at KOBoxing86TV. Also, if you got a breakdown or prediction you want me to do, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. Live shows Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That's where we break down the hottest news in boxing. All the hot topics, we discuss them right there Wednesday night. Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That's our live show where we do our breakdowns and our predictions every single Friday night for the week of that week. So we got the Joe Smith card. We got the Joe Smith card coming up. We're going to do that whole card, and we're going to get them all right. We bouncing back. We had a nice run there towards the end of the year. We popped off like we went undefeated one week. We had another week where we got 8 out of 9 right. Like we got like 29 out of 30, 28 out of 30 fights right. Then last week we had a bad week. But y'all know how we do. We going to bounce back this week and get everything right. Just watch me work. That's all I got to say, man. But y'all be sure to check out our shows, man. They lit. But I appreciate y'all, all the new subscribers. If you're watching this video for the first time, please subscribe. We working over here. Boxing content drop daily. Live shows 3 times a week, man. We working. So y'all come check us out, man. But I appreciate y'all watching. Enjoy your day. And with that, we out of here. Peace, y'all.